Hello, my friends. I'm so excited to share with you some new insight that reveals the fingerprint and footprint of God. Hello, and welcome to Part 2, Total Eclipse 2017, and I'm going to add the vortex pulse over the new Madrid Fault. Remember, I said when we get to this part, you will be knocked off your foundation. Well, get ready, people. Now, we'd seen how the image of the new moon and total eclipse perfectly match the sign that is carved at conception, and how the life of God's one and only Son is written into the script of the life code. Thus, we can see by these signs how we are made in the image of God. Jesus spoke, "As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." And then the vortex point of the Garden of the Gods, which is a profound pulse for the umbilical cord significance of the Mississippi River, is reinforced with the life code of the X and surrounding hearts. Translation: the cross that stands in the thicket of trees is solid as a rock. Let's review these images. The total eclipse can now hold a detailed visual meaning of how God is sending us and the U.S. This is a warning. Your country better get back to the Word of God and sanctify the pulsating and breathing seed of life in the womb. That seed is the soul and signature of the Creator. They are one and the same foundation as the I and the words Jesus spoke, "I am." The vortex pulse point at the gut of the Mississippi River serves the entire basin and all its stacked hearts. The river system balances the land of the Midwest to the surrounding coastline of the oceans and Great Lakes. This is huge. Look at the magnitude. The twists and turns of the Mississippi River compared to the traveling of a fire water-bound spiraling serpent. Guess what? Two spiraling serpents, adjoined at the tails, direct the path of the mighty spiraling current of the gut of the Mississippi River. I know this sounds crazy. Just follow me here. An old road atlas that had been stored in my archives marked significant images exposes the validation of these relating principles. You can see the image that is suggestive of two snakeheads. Here's one, and here's the other one. And here's their spiraling body, and they connect here. And it doesn't show on this road map, but there's two diamonds there in the middle. But you can see that forms a whirlpool. A half a whirlpool is a whirlpool when it's flowing waters. So here's my rendition. Now keep in mind, this is a composite, and it is a condensed image of reality. The purpose of this drawing is to show the seeds of how whirlpools are built into the lay of land and surrounding waters. There are many sideline rudders, so to speak, that steers and ultimately fuels momentum of the Mississippi River. The head of the serpents are fire-based mounds. That's what we were pointing out earlier. Here's the northbound and the southbound. And the diamond tail of the serpents reinforce double adjoined whirlpools. This compares to two adjoined spiraling funnels that are attached at the tails and travel across the land in low gear. Basically, a profound centering pulse of the landmass, this is big and small, equally feeds the passing waters on each side. You can Google this and see it for yourself. The built-in whirlpools secure a faster spiraling current for the Mississippi, preparing to enter the tight coiling umbilical cord course. So now the waters are swirling, and when they meet at each end of the diamonds, larger whirlpools are now set for the igniting spark. The new Madrid Fault compares to the spark plug that sets off an explosion, which then ignites the gas, and in this case, the oxygen that is innate to the faster spiraling current by its built-in pulse. And this turns the drive shaft, and then the spinning wheels fortify the traveling. The drive shaft is the coiling course, and the wheels compare to the spiraling, rapidly moving current. I try to bring in visuals that really put these principles down to earth, that everybody can relate to. Every step of the traveling, fast-moving Mississippi River must be in order. Think about that, in order. That's sequential steps. A low pulse cannot be considered. Furthermore, everything's got to be transitional. The building steps toward that momentum fast speed. The fire transmitting new Madrid Fault is the jump start for the tightly woven umbilical cord course. Oh my goodness. This is the best perspective of the symbol of the umbilical cord. There was a lot of maps and different things, but this was the best one that really represented its coiling course, the twists and turns, and where the river actually turns back on itself. That is a complete whirlpool. Well, the new Madrid Fault is the fuel line that runs directly under the heart of the Mississippi, or its strongest current that is constantly pulse boosted by the adjoined bodies of the spiraling fire-based serpents, and the propelling tail of a spiraling fish, according to Google Earth. Can you believe this? But why not a fish? Symbol. It shows expansion. Here it is, across the broad part of the body here. Contraction and expansion. Well, that's a pulse generator and transmitter that have been carved into the earth in order to secure a steadfast pulse for the fuel line. The head, or the built-in whirlpool of the northbound serpents. Remember, we were following that previously. Well, here it is. This is Google Earth. Isn't it amazing what we have access to today? Well, the mouth of the Ohio River appears to be the body of a spiraling fish and the tail of a spiraling serpent. Basically, we have water and land spiraling navigators thoroughly covered. You can see this here. Here's the Ohio River. The mouth of the Ohio River looks like a mouth of this fish, and then the tail streamlines into a spiraling snake. Or we can say serpent. But the key word is spiral. Now, this may seem hard to believe, but every symbol that has been shown here as it relates to the foundational generators of the Mississippi River are images that relate to the backbone of life, the body's backbone. When we get to Creation in the Womb series, you will see this for yourself. I can't show the images and give explanations pertaining to creation in the womb right now at this time, but we cover step by step creation in the womb. And the first step is the sign of a foot. The foundation, the same footprint that is carved within 27 seconds after conception, is absolutely obvious. After you traveled the journey of the warning signs from God, a deeper appreciation of creation in the womb instills an everlasting memory. We're doing this in sequential steps as well. Foundational foot. Let's follow it here. Talk about turning back on itself. So here's the heel. That would be the instep, and it comes around. There's the toes. Whirlpools are innate to the foundation of a foot. Isn't this interesting? The principles relating to the womb are shown here in the winding path and foundation of the Mississippi River. That signifies an umbilical cord course. Sometimes I have to go back and double check myself because it's like, this just seems too unbelievable. But it's not. It's called the Life Code. And the new Madrid Fault is anchored by a foot that is called Real Foot Lake. And the fish is the other part of the foundation, the vortex system that is responsible to ignite a spark at any given moment. There's our stabilizing diamonds. And remember, this is a condensed image. The passing of the total eclipse is comparable to sideswiping the fuel line or brushing against grain. Sets off the sparks. Perhaps the shadow-based path is the solid contraction that dismisses the other half of the pulse, vibrating expansion. And you can connect the rest of the dots. I don't even want to say that word, although it is in my description on YouTube. In closing, I will add lessons learned. We're going into a stronger building state than just the 30-day new moon cycles, so be prepared for more aches and pains. Arthritis and headaches may get worse, and new symptoms may pop up out of nowhere. Pay attention to your pets. Their sensitive nerves and keen sense of hearing, a major line of defense, are significant forewarnings. Actually, the tensions have been building for 6 months. Nerves may be jittery on a personal basis, and building tensions across the map literally may be known in the countries that are building a stockpile of nukes. On Litigate on Creation, a series of soundtracks that relate to mysterious underground sounds that have been heard around the world reveal everything you want to know about our shadow underground run government. No one will have to sway your mind, change your political views. You will know that the truth is being exposed through the God-sent signs. Let's go back to the umbilical cord course that pinpoints Beebe, Arkansas. Now, I didn't mention this earlier. The mysteries that were prevalent in Beebe for 4 years in a row at the strike at midnight are totally explained. They are tightly connected to the mysterious underground soundtracks. Isn't it so interesting? Well, I'm talking about how the total eclipse aligns to one of the largest earthquake zones in the U.S., and the highlight is the umbilical cord course of the Mississippi River, yet the town of Beebe is pinpointed on this map. I just chose this map because of the greater detail of the Mississippi River. You couldn't make this up, people. It sounds like a blockbuster novel. What your eyes will see and ears hear will be so concise that it will take your breath. The journey that the seekers of truth follow is enlightening, heart-touching, educational, supportive of critical thinking, which in turn exposes all the hidden secrets that are unveiled by the visible, validating God signs. The total eclipse and the crossing of the new moon and its shadow-based path has revealed the sign of creation and the life and death of Jesus. Just the word crossing that identifies the path of the total eclipse contains the word cross. Don't take these signs lightly. Even the 1,200 mile per hour speed is so significant as it completely aligns to the conclusion of the series Warning Signs from God. I'm speechless. And I know how it all connects. It is so concise that it seems unbelievable. But believe me, it can't be denied. Jeremiah 23:23, Am I a God at hand, saith the Lord, and not a God afar off? At Lendigay on Creation, I have images of the sun that reveals God's Son, the life code, the crown of thorns, the cross, and the dripping blood that was all visible during an earthquake. A sign in Beebe, Arkansas, once again shows God's Son touching the earth by way of the sun. That's SONSUN. There is a sign in Beebe that stands in solid concrete that leads the seekers of truth to the Holy Land and to Benghazi in multiple ways. The signs of the total eclipse and its X-based lighted path are reinforcements of the message that was encrypted in the sun that had shone brightly all during the earthquake. The same projected translation as what we had seen in the Garden of the Gods. I'm going to say the Garden of God in part 1 is so revealing. The life code of the X and the encrypted life and death of Jesus, God's one and only Son, was a script that had been written in the sun on that revealing day of the earthquake, when the sign of the U.S. shook from its very foundation. That was the forewarning sign for us. Us and U.S. are one and the same. Don't miss the journey of the Revealing Warning Signs from God series. And I will close. How many more signs will be sent our way before God draws a line in the sand? The crossing over of the total eclipse, or God's Son that is reflected in the new moon, are so revealing. The new moon, think about this, the new moon, the new Madrid Fault line, I don't know, is the sign, perhaps, of the line that God is drawing, and this may be the last warning sign He sends us, or sends to the U.S. The foundation of the new Madrid Fault line shows the foundation of the fish and foot that support the umbilical cord greatness of the Mississippi River. The foot is carved in the image of creation at the moment of conception, and the fish is the sign of Christians and the backbone of life. When Jesus said to His disciples, I will make you fishers of men, that went deeper than the fishing trade. Where Jesus walked upon the waters, the Sea of Galilee shows His footprint. And the Garden of God reveals the encryption of the life and death of Jesus that is written to the script of the life code. In the conclusion, warning signs from God, an image, a picture is shown in how God literally drew a line in the sand when He stopped the enemy from entering and attacking the Holy Land. Psalms 81:3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in that time appointed on our solemn feast day. God sent the U.S. a president by the name of Trump, who is a man that has stopped the flow of money to support abortions around the world. And he speaks often how all Americans must come together because we are made by the same God and Creator. President Trump is a God sign, and he was sent to expose the truth about a shadow-run government. Jeremiah 23:24, can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, saith the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord? Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.